Okay, we're back for another deep dive into Fabric admin settings. This time we're going to go on to part 2 of the export settings inside the Fabric admin portal. So let's just get into it. Okay, if you haven't checked out part 1 of the export settings, go ahead and do that. I covered a lot of the big ones that are out there. Today we're going to be getting started with download reports. This setting allows people to download the PBIX file or the paginated reports, that they've uploaded into the service so they can download it. Straight up, have this enabled. I honestly, I cannot think of a justification for why you would turn this off. I've heard of some people saying they turn it off because they want people to follow like good code management practices. But that's a bad path. Just don't do that. Like, just leave this enabled. There's no reason to muck around with this. This learn more just takes you over to Fabric admin, so no super value there. Setting number 2, users can work with semantic models in Excel using a live connection. Users can export data to Excel from a report visual or semantic model, or export a semantic model to an Excel workbook with analyzed in Excel. Both options with a live connection to the XML endpoint. This learn more doesn't take anywhere useful. Basically, it's saying, can people connect to the semantic models that are inside of Fabric in Excel? Again, this is a big yes. Only caveats are like if you just don't want people working with this data outside of the Power BI space, do not do that. This, like, allow the people to work with whatever tools on the front end that they want, especially a tool like Excel that allows you to keep all of the data inside your semantic model inside of Fabric, and it's just a shell or presentation layer in these other tools that allow them to access it. This will cut down all sorts of grumblings and problems people have when it comes to adopting and doing a migration off of old systems and onto this. Definitely enable this. You do have the ability to lock it down to specific user groups. Don't. Just leave that enabled. All right. Next one. Export reports as PowerPoint presentations or PDF documents. Users in this organization can export reports as PowerPoint files or PDF documents. Again, enable this. Otherwise, you're basically saying, I want people to just take random screenshots and dump it into PowerPoint, or that's a bad path. Don't do that. You need this enabled. There's not much debate on this one. Export reports as MHTML documents. Users in the organization can export paginated reports as MHTML documents. Again, unless your organization has some type of ban on these type of documents for some regulatory purposes or like architectural reasons, there's no reason to really drop this as part of your organization. So just leave this enabled. You'll be good to go. All right. Export reports as Word documents. Users of the organization can export paginated reports as Word documents. Again, leave this enabled unless there's some regulatory reason or internal reason why you don't want Word documents to be a format that people can export to. Honestly, you're going to find, especially like paginated reports, there may be a great reason why. Well, number one, I'd want like a PDF for the most part when it comes to like downloading invoices and whatnot. But maybe you have a standard where you send out all of your invoices as Word documents, and you need to keep doing that. You want to drive that through your semantic layer. Fantastic, but you're going to need this enabled to do that. So don't disable this. Export reports as XML documents. Users in the organization can export paginated reports as XML documents. Now, the reason why you may disable this one versus the other documents is a lot around the performance side of the house. The generation of XML documents, because of the structure on read formatting of it, does mean that there is a heavier load on the process in order to generate that file, right? Whereas a CSV, you list off all the okay, so here's the header record for each one, so it's the column names, and then you just put the data in each one. XML, on the other hand, says, okay, for this fee or for this record, right? And it gives the field name, it gives the value, and then for the field, and then value, field and value. So you basically get the field and value for everything inside of your data set. So as you can imagine, if you're attaching that onto a very, very, very large file, you're going to have a lot of I/O that goes on in order to generate that file. If you're talking a big file with hundreds of thousands of records, that can bog down like $1 million boxes out there. So just be very careful on this one. Honestly, I don't like enabling this one. Kind of around for that purposes. Again, I leave this enabled in my tenant because this is exploratory. All right. Export reports as image files. Basically, users in this organization can use the export report to file API to export reports as image files. This is another good way for distributing the information that, or like the information inside your reports via API for other app integrations and other integration options that you might want to build out. It's a great thing. No harm with this one. I'd leave that enabled. And then the last one we're going to talk about in this video is print dashboards and reports. Users in the organization can print dashboards and reports. Again, leave this enabled. It just solves a lot of problems and a lot of friction points for people that are still in the, hey, I want a paper copy. I love being able to get to the point inside an organization where you can disable this and eliminate the printing and save the paper and do all of that good stuff. But if you're in a spot where you need to be able to share this and you need people to have access to this reports, or people need the ability to print it, just leave it on and don't fight that backlash. All right. If you found this information useful, and I hope you did, especially if you're hanging around this long, hit that like button, subscribe to this channel. I got a whole bunch of more videos that are coming out on this topic. Looking forward to sharing more about this with you as well. So share it around, let people know about these settings. You have a great day. Peace. Baker Tilly Digital combines strategic industry insight and advanced technical expertise to uncover and solve your digital transformation challenges. If you're interested in learning more, check out our website at bakertilly.com/digital.